In the dead of winter, 1959, deep in Russia's Ural Mountains, a group of 9 experienced hikers set out on an expedition they would never return from. What happened to them on a remote mountain slope, now known as Dyatlov Pass, remains one of history's most chilling and perplexing unsolved mysteries. One night, something terrified them so much that they cut their way out of their tent and fled into the sub-zero darkness, some without shoes or proper clothing. What could cause such panic in a group of seasoned mountaineers? The group was led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old radio engineering student. They were all students or graduates from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, young, bright, and full of life. There was Zinaida Kolmogorova, Lyudmila Dubinina, Alexander Kolevatov, Rustem Slobodin, Yuri Krivonishenko, Yuri Doroshenko, Nikolai Thibeaux-Brignoles, and Semyon Zolotaryov, the oldest at 38 and a World War II veteran. They were adventurers, friends, embarking on what should have been a challenging but ultimately triumphant journey. They documented their trek with cameras, leaving behind a haunting visual record of their final days, filled with laughter and camaraderie, oblivious to the horror that awaited them. On the night of February 1st, they set up camp on the slopes of Kolatsayakl, a name that translates from the local Mansi language to Bed Mountain. A storm was moving in, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Then, in the middle of the night, chaos erupted. Investigators would later find their tent, but it wasn't unzipped or untied. It had been sliced open from the inside. Footprints led away from the camp, down the snowy slope, but there were no signs of a struggle near the tent itself. Just a frantic, desperate escape into a blizzard with temperatures plummeting to minus 30 degrees Celsius. They fled without their coats, their boots, their gear. They ran from something inside their tent into the freezing, unforgiving wilderness. When the search party finally reached the abandoned campsite weeks later, what they discovered only deepened the mystery. The first 2 bodies, those of Doroshenko and Krivonishenko, were found under a large cedar tree about a mile downhill. They were stripped down to their underwear. Nearby were the remains of a small fire. The next 3, Dyatlov, Kolmogorova, and Slobodin, were found between the tree and the tent, seemingly trying to crawl back to camp. They died of hypothermia. The real shock came 2 months later. The remaining 4 hikers were discovered buried under 13 feet of snow in a ravine further away. They had suffered catastrophic internal injuries. Lyudmila Dubinina and Semyon Zolotaryov had crushed chests, injuries consistent with a high-speed car crash. Nikolai Thibeaux-Brignoles had a fatal skull fracture, and strangely, Dubinina was missing her tongue and eyes. Yet there were no external signs of a struggle or impact on their bodies. Some of their clothing also contained elevated levels of radiation. The official Soviet investigation concluded that the hikers died from a compelling natural force. But what force could do this? Theories began to swirl almost immediately. The most common explanation is an avalanche. Perhaps a slab avalanche struck the tent, forcing them to cut their way out and flee. It could explain some of the crushing injuries. However, experienced hikers questioned why they would camp in an avalanche-prone area, and investigators found no definitive signs of one. Others point to more exotic explanations. Were they witnesses to a secret military weapons test? This could account for the radiation and the government's secretive handling of the case. The area was known for military activity. Some locals reported seeing strange orange orbs in the sky that night, leading to theories of UFOs or extraterrestrial encounters. And then there's the local folklore. The Mansi people have legends of menacing spirits, or even a Russian Yeti that roams these mountains. Could they have stumbled upon something not of this world? Cases like the Dyatlov Pass incident remind us how little we truly understand the world around us. For those of you who, like me, are fascinated by the world's greatest enigmas, we've curated a collection of mystery-themed items in our shop. From cryptic puzzles to apparel, inspired by unsolved cases. There's something for every armchair detective. Check out the links in the description below to explore the unknown. For decades, the case file was sealed, the story relegated to whispered campfire tales. But in recent years, the mystery has been reborn. With the declassification of Soviet files and the advent of modern technology, new investigators are re-examining the evidence. Researchers have returned to Dyatlov Pass with drones, ground-penetrating radar, and advanced forensic techniques. They compare old photographs to the current landscape, running new simulations based on weather patterns and snowpack data from 1959. In 2019, the Russian government reopened the case, ultimately favoring a new version of the avalanche theory, a delayed, slow-moving slab avalanche that the original investigators missed. Yet, even this explanation doesn't satisfy everyone. It fails to account for the radiation, the missing tongue, or the sheer terror that drove 9 seasoned hikers to their deaths. And so, we are left where we began, in the snow, with no final answers. Each new investigation seems to only peel back another layer of the mystery, revealing more questions beneath. The footprints of the Dyatlov group were erased by the wind and snow long ago, but their story is etched into history forever. The mountain keeps its secrets, a silent, frozen monument to an event that defies easy explanation. What truly happened on that fatal night remains locked away in the icy heart of the Ural Mountains. The memory of those 9 young adventurers lives on, not just in the haunting photographs they left behind, but in the enduring enigma of their final moments. The sign marking Dyatlov Pass stands alone against the elements, a quiet testament to a story that continues to captivate and terrify us, a reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. What do you think happened on Dead Mountain? Let me know your theory in the comments below. And if you want to dive into more real mysteries, unsolved cases, and chilling history, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We explore real horror, real stories, real-life events that actually happened. This is eerie YT. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.